Hey, well, good evening here from Alaska's weather source on what is now a gray gray evening here in South Central Alaska, especially here in Anchorage. I'm going to give you a shot of the Chugach mountain range. Glad you could join us. Hopefully you're watching the Olympics as well and enjoying all the activities of the games. I love the Olympics. Always love that 2 weeks of just nothing but watching the Olympics. I just love all the sports. So, hey, let's go ahead and take a look outside, see what we have. And there it is right now. We are looking at some cloudy skies over the Chugach mountain range and some drizzle. We're seeing a little bit of cloudy skies tonight and rain. That's going to stay with us. I'll show you why in just a minute, but let's go ahead and see what we have weather-wise. And again, my name is Robert Forgit, meteorologist here at Channel 2. Been here over 30 years. Not so much with Alaska's News Source, but with Channel 2, which is now Alaska's News Source, because we also have the other channel as well. So it's really great to be with you. We're from here in Anchorage, and it is a day like this. That's the Chugach mountain range for those that are joining us. And hey, Sheila, nice to have you from Wasilla. Love seeing you. If you're on and watching, and I can see that we've got quite a few viewers already, tell me where you're from, say hello, even tell me what your weather's like. Always want to know that. And if you're from out of state, out of country, I especially would like to know where you're from, and appreciate you watching. Hey, right now let's go ahead and move on and see what we have. And that is right now we are looking at 57 degrees. The winds are out of the west-southwest, 10 miles per hour. We're going to see this rain and gusts of showers come through tonight into part of tomorrow, and with it will be some gusty winds too. So Alma, thanks for joining us. Yep, weather's same as ours. We're here in Midtown in Anchorage, Alaska, and yep, we are seeing again those rainy conditions, and those are going to stay with us overnight. So nice to have Rob Christie here. Thank you. Hey, from Tyonek, nice to have you. And drizzle in there too. Yeah, most of the state is kind of seeing that. 63 was our high, 49 our low. Normally 66 and 53. No precipitation to speak of yet, but I assume that we'll be filling that in a little bit later. Hey, again, if you're online watching, and I can see that we've got quite a few viewers tonight, let me know where you're from, what you're doing. So appreciate it, Nancy from Nanwalek. Nice to have you. Really nice to have you. And if you're a new viewer, a new watcher, I'm usually on Sundays when I'm working. I try to get on and give you the forecast. And with that, let's move on a little bit. High temperatures today, 65 in Palmer. Everyone saw a little bit of sunshine, at least this morning. 67 in Talkeetna, 66 in Glen Allen. Really, that was where most of the sun was. We saw the sun here. And Birdie, thanks from Gulkana. Nice to have you on board. Hey, we saw sun here this morning, as I mentioned last night, forecasted last night. Sun in the morning, increasing clouds in the afternoon, rain by the evening, and so far that has been the ingredients for today. So, we saw it coming yesterday. I saw it coming, and certainly it looks like it is here, and it will stay with us tonight. Taking a look at tonight, clouds and rain for us here in Anchorage, 53 our low. Notice those winds, though, gusting to about 30 miles an hour. So we are going to see that rain. Not going to be super heavy, but certainly going to be windy, and those clouds and rain stay in with us as we get into tomorrow. Our daylight, 17 hours, 22 minutes. That's 5:23 a.m. was our sunrise. Our sunset, 10:46 p.m. And then 5 minutes and 3 seconds lost from yesterday. Hey, if you're watching and watching the Olympics too, tell me what your favorite sport is and what your weather's like and where you're from. Always like to have our viewers on, and the numbers are going up right now as people are joining us, so nice to see all of you on board. I can only see the numbers. I can't see where you're from or your name, so just go ahead in Facebook and tell me who you are and what you're doing. Tina, thanks, appreciate it. Driving from Hatcher Pass, but she lives in Anchorage. Love that. Drive safely. Hey, right now we are seeing a lot of cloudiness through the Aleutian chain into Kodiak up to Anchorage, but tomorrow Kodiak, we'll see some sunshine. We're seeing some cloudy skies, a little bit of rain here, mostly cloudy skies in Fairbanks, Yakutat, Juneau, and Ketchikan. Right around 61 for Ketchikan right now, and they are looking at some mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow it's going to be different. So Tina, thanks for joining us. 37 in Utqiagvik, 37 in Deadhorse. For you in Nome, it's cloudy, and Kotzebue seeing some clouds. If you're in one of these locations, go ahead and confirm that that's what you're seeing. I appreciate it. Dillingham, 53. So, hey, Gwen from Shishmaref. Wow, yeah, cloudy, cold, and windy. You're also going to see high surf around the areas of the west coast, mainly though in Bristol Bay, as we'll have this onslaught coming in tomorrow. So just be aware of that. Thanks, Gwen, for joining us. As we take a look at high temperatures today, 70 in Northway, I believe, was the hot spot in the state. 66 in Juneau. We saw 65 in Fairbanks. We hit 63 here in Anchorage, Nome. At 54, mainly mid-50s for the west coast. 62 though on Alaska, where they saw a little bit of sunshine today, and 39 for both Utqiagvik and also Deadhorse were the highs for them. What are we looking at? Well, this is the low pressure system. That L is the middle of the system, the middle of that low pressure, and notice the front that's going with it. See that big green line that's coming over Anchorage and then down into the northern Gulf? That's our weather producer over the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, the low is sitting off the coast, of course, right there in Bering Sea, and that's going to produce, again, counterclockwise rotation. And for those that don't know this, when you look at counterclockwise rotation, this is the map of Alaska. A low pressure system spins this way, spins counterclockwise, and so as it does that, it brings in the cooler air from the Arctic and also brings in the most of the winds and cooler temperatures wrapping around it, and the brunt of the front is where you have most of the energy. So we're watching that brunt, as I'm going to show you in a minute, moving across the state. So that's my show and tell for tonight, by the way. So you can see that you got the best map of any state on the back of your hand, and that is Alaska. So let's go ahead and look and see what's going on as we move this forward. That low is going to move in on Monday, producing some rain through South Central and into the interior. On the west coast, things will start to dry out, but for the most part, you're going to get some wind tonight, and first thing in the morning, we're going to see that too. And then the rain continues into the southeast panhandle, so calling for rain tomorrow for the southeast panhandle as well as our area. But by Tuesday, tomorrow afternoon, we should see some drying in South Central, and I'm expecting to see the sun pop out again throughout many locations here in South Central and up in the valley area, but we're still going to see that lingering rain in the interior. Hey, if you just joined us, looks like we got a few new people. Appreciate it. So Tina, thanks. I appreciate you saying that you learned something with my little discussion of low pressure. In the northern hemisphere, low pressure systems spin counterclockwise. High pressure, the wind spins clockwise. Drier conditions are associated with highs, and lows have a tendency to be wet. So that's it. Now that low pressure out in the Aleutian, that's going to continue to move through the Aleutian chain and then move down into the North Pacific. So we should see a little bit of a break on Wednesday with some drier conditions throughout the state, interior and South Central, but still rainy down in the South Panhandle, Southern Panhandle. I want to show just some precipitation totals for this area, South Central. For those watching, this is going to be a 48-hour period that I'm showing. So for the next 48 hours, all the way till Tuesday at 8 p.m. So this is 48 hours. Whittier, almost 2 inches of rain, an inch in Valdez, about 1.5 inches in Cordova. Anchorage will see about 1/2 inch. Seward about almost an inch, and down in Homer, rather light, as most of these are grazing through. So, hey, if you're just joining us again, join. I'm going to have a factoid too that you can participate in just a bit here, and hope you can get the answer right. Hey, as we look at southeast, as I mentioned, it's going to be raining. Yakutat, Skagway, and Juneau look for about 62 in Juneau, 61 in Haines. Some rain, but then clearing for the southeast part of the Panhandle. For the interior, rain continues. Fairbanks 57, 57 in Delta Junction. Looking at Healy at 55. The wind's not really a factor, all coming out of the south, southwest to southeast. And the North Slope, again, Utqiagvik, going to see clouds and fog. Deadhorse, some rain. Wainwright, fog. And Anaktuvuk Pass, rainy and also maybe a little bit of snow mixed with that. and 51 degrees is your high tomorrow. Look for the sun to break out. The whole Brooks Range is seeing a mixture of snow and rain tonight, so just be aware of that. Maria from St. Paul Island, glad to have you. What perfect time, and we're going to go out, see what we have, and in just a minute. Gamble looking at 47 tomorrow. They'll see windy conditions, though. That is that front, and notice the whole coastline is seeing winds that could be as much as 20 to 30 miles an hour, especially Bethel, Gamble, and the Bristol Bay area. With that push, high surf could be possible along the coastal sections of Bristol Bay and the southwestern part of our coastline. Marfa, let's go ahead and see what we have for your forecast as I try to move this along. Aleutians, there you go. Tomorrow it's going to be windy for you, and we're going to see gusts to as much as 40 miles an hour. It's probably windy now. Let me know if it is windy now. But you're going to see some sunshine, and with that, a temperature of about 50. Adak 52, going to be windy in Unalaska, gusting to about 30 out of the west, 30 out of the west as well for Coal Bay, but mostly cloudy skies. And Dillingham going to see some rain and 55 degrees with those winds gusting to about 35 miles an hour. Roxanne, I'm sorry you're crying there. I can see the emoji you got there. So, hey, let's go ahead and look a little closer at the Kenai. We are going to see, and here's where I want to make sure I set the expectation, because these icons confuse people sometimes. We're trying to forecast a whole day. It will be raining and cloudy in the morning, very windy, Kenai, Homer, also down in Seward and Soldotna, looking at gusts to 20 to 30 miles an hour. That rain will push through. This is a fast-moving front. And then I expect to see some breaks in the afternoon. So AM rain, afternoon clearing. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I got that sunball there. Now, Prince William Sound, Copper River Basin, probably will remain cloudier. Whittier, Valdez, Glen Allen, and Cordova. Don't see you escaping much. You might have a few breaks in the afternoon, but for the most part, we're looking at showers in the afternoon, rain tonight as well. Monday, that AM rain. Rain through the AM on Monday for the Matsu, but I think you're going to see a break. And matter of fact, before the 10 o'clock, I'm going to change those icons to show a little bit more in the way of sunshine, because I think it's going to be the same thing for you. Again, we're looking at gusty winds. Hey, Mary, nice. Thanks for joining us here in Anchorage. Hey, let's go ahead and look at Anchorage real quick, then I'll do a factoid and give the 7-day forecast for Anchorage. Anchorage, 62, winds gusting both tonight and tomorrow to about 30 miles an hour. Girdwood will be east 5 to 10 with 56 miles an hour. Hey, we're going to look at the factoid. How many times, including this year, has France hosted the Olympic Games? Not Paris, but France, the country. How many times has it hosted the Olympic Games? Now, I did this factoid on the air a few nights ago. Is it 2, 4, 6, or 8? 2, 4, 6, or 8, what do you think? How many times, including this year, has France hosted the Olympic Games? 2, 4, 6, or 8, what do you think? So I love the Olympic Games. I think it's just great. I've been to a few Olympics myself to watch and observe. I've been to the Atlanta Olympics, the Vancouver Olympics, the Salt Lake City Olympics. It's been pretty spectacular. It's always a fanfare. And I've been both to the Summer Olympics in Atlanta, but also the Winter Olympics in Vancouver and Salt Lake City. Been a lot of fun. So let's see. Let's go back to this and see what you're going to guess. Okay, I've got Diane saying 4. I've got Nancy saying A for 2. Is it 2, 4, 6, or 8 for France having hosted the Olympic Games? Martha's going to come in with 4. Anyone out there, please join us. I can see we've got a lot of people watching. So, yeah, Bertha Murphy, thanks for joining us. You're saying 8, okay? Got a lot of okay, Martha. Okay, Tina says her husband says it's 4. It's 4 times. Okay, 4 times. We got 2, 4, 6, or 8. How many times has France hosted the Olympic Games? This is both summer and winter. Okay, Aiden, thanks for saying 2. We got 2 from Aiden. Appreciate that. I hope I said your name right. And anyone else want to take a guess? Again, this is France, the country. How many Olympics have they hosted as a country, both winter and summer? 2 for Alma. All right. Going to give you just a few more seconds and then we're going to get on with that. If you've had an Olympic experience, love to know about it. If you've been to the Olympics and participated, let me know. Been great. I had a chance to carry the torch for the Salt Lake City Olympics here in Alaska. It happened in Juneau. We all got to carry the torch about 1/10 of a mile. It was an honor to carry that torch for just 1/10 of a mile, having everyone cheer you on the streets. And it was cold and wet and that day, so a lot of fun. So what do you think? This is it. We're wrapping it up. And Alma's got 2. Aiden's got 2. Nancy, thanks. I love this interaction with you. Yeah, I love doing it too. Birth of 4. Here we go. We're going to give you the answer. How many times, including this year, has France hosted the Olympic Games? Linda came in with a quick guess of C for 6. And I'm going to give the answer right now. Here we go. And the answer is 6. So, Linda, you are right. It was the Summer Olympics of 1900, 1924, and 2024, this Olympics. And for the winter, 1924, 1968, and 1992. They've hosted a lot of games, and hopefully this one will go off without any major problems. So just hoping and praying all the athletes and participants and the city are safe as they go through the Olympic Games. So, hey, let's go ahead. Our last graphic for tonight is the 7-day forecast. If I can get by this one, I'm trying to, there we go. Sometimes the clicker can't get the signal from this far over. We're in a different part of the studio. So tomorrow AM rain, and we're looking at PM breaks. As I mentioned, we might get a little bit of sunshine here, 62. And 48 is the low tomorrow night. And then I expect to see AM rain on Tuesday a little bit as a second pulse of moisture goes through, then PM sunshine. Wednesday looks pretty good, partly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy on Thursday. If you're doing any sightseeing, your parents are here, I'm kind of pushing everyone towards Wednesday and Thursday. I have guests in town as well, and they're right now up in Kennecott, going to be in Valdez tomorrow. It's going to be a little wet for them, but as they come back, Wednesday, Thursday is looking pretty good. And then I expect some rain on Friday. Again, it's really an outlook Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Really stick to that first 3 days, or what are probably the closest bet when it comes to being more accurate. As we get farther out, our confidence in the model data is less because it is really getting out there. So, but the first 3 days, I consider the forecast, the rest is an outlook. So that's about it. Bertha, thank you. She said, wow. And Tina, wow, 6 times, yeah. So, hey, I thank you all for being here, getting ready for the 10 o'clock show, and talk a little bit more about things that are going right now. There is a flood advisory for the Yentna River in Petersville all the way down to Willow, and that's going to last till about 4 o'clock tomorrow. A lot of rain up there. Tributaries are filling up a little bit, so it's a flood advisory for that area. So I just want to let you know about that, and I'll give you more details after the Olympic show. We will broadcast whether that's at 10 or a little after, so just want to let you know. So, hey, from all of us here at the Alaska's news source in Anchorage, Alaska, I'm meteorologist Robert Forgit. It's been a pleasure joining you. I always love doing this, and love all the input as well. And again, as I always say, hey, let's all be kind to each other and be kind to yourself. That's important. Take time out to just take a break. If you're doing a lot for others, make sure you do something nice for yourself this week. And I hope you have a great week. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and hit the copyright and say, have a great night.